Everyone says that cardio is the key to fat loss. And whenever you have a lot of weight to lose, let's say 80 to 100 pounds, it really does feel like the only option. That's exactly where I started. I was walking, biking, swimming, running, anything to get the scale to move, anything to see the weight fall off. And it did fall off. But no one really talks about the trade-off. It wasn't nearly all the fat that fell off. It wasn't just fat that fell off. In fact, I lost a lot of muscle. I felt tired, exhausted, cranky, and it just wasn't sustainable, and gained the weight back. And I learned that the hard way. If you have a lot of weight to lose, doing more cardio just doesn't seem to be the answer that leads to me and my results in the past. And then with my clients getting the results that they've gotten, it doesn't seem like cardio is the answer for that. There's a kind of a new way to lose weight. And it's not new. It's just like people are talking about it more. And so I'm going to tell you, how I succeeded and what I use that can help you. This video is going to be especially true if you have a lot of weight to lose like I did. If you're, hovering somewhere around 70 plus pounds, if you feel like you're heavily overweight, at least 50 plus pounds, this video is going to be for you. Okay, so first I trained like someone who actually wanted to keep the weight off, not someone who was just losing weight. And let me tell you what that means. I'll start with a kind of a story that I think relates pretty well to this, and bear with me. It's going to feel like it doesn't connect, but it will. My first ever designer purchase, which still don't, do designer purchases much of name brand things that are super expensive. But my first ever designer purchase was a pair of Oakley sunglasses. They were the colors of the college that I thought I was going to go to. Ended up not going to that college, but they looked good anyways, maroon and gray. Missouri State is where I thought I was going to go. And that particular pair of sunglasses, I remember I think it was 180, which back in 2010 was a lot. Those sunglasses lasted me until 2021 or 22, 11 or 12 years. And that I still, the Oakley O was falling out of the side by the end, and but they looked good all the way up until the end, and they functioned perfectly well. Unlike cheap sunglasses that you buy and you have to kind of buy them again and buy them again. So how does this relate to your weight loss? So I stopped being so dependent on motivation. It wasn't like if I was motivated, I was going to do it. I was more focused on the long-term outlook. So those pair of Oakley sunglasses, if you break that down into cost, let's say it was $200 and they lasted, which it wasn't, and they lasted 10 years and it lasted longer. So this is only going to be an even better example with the true numbers. That's $20 a year. If you buy an $8 pair of sunglasses, you're going to have to buy that several times throughout the year. So you probably end up saving money with the designer pair. I don't know. I'm just using that as an example. What I'm saying is, if you focus on the long term, I started focusing on not weight lost, which would be like the cheap sunglasses that you continue to have to buy, but more on muscle built and strength and performance gained. For me, using these, and I'm gonna show them a little bit, probably more later in the video. But using those Olympic rings and doing more things like calisthenics, the lighter I got, the easier it was to do those things. And that was my motivation. And that's where this all ties in, is if you're just focused on being motivated to lose weight, I don't know, I just see it run out, with myself and my clients. That motivation just runs dry. But if you're motivated I have a client who is fixated on being better at pickleball. And, pickleball ain't much my thing, but it's her thing. And she does really well. She loves it because she's improving in pickleball. Every time that I need to motivate her, I mention something about pickleball. Like, hey, this will help you with your lunges. And she does it. This will help you get to the ball faster, whatever. And that is much more motivating whenever you're focused on that performance improvement. It's also, I just thought of this. This actually isn't in my script. If you are trying to grow out your hair and you look every day in the mirror at your hair, my gosh, it hasn't grown. It's frustrating whenever you look at that every day and you're fixated on just the thing that is supposed to be happening. And if you fixate on the scale every single day, now I have my clients take their weight every day because I want to see the pattern. I want them to see that up and down means nothing. It's all about the pattern. So I'm not saying not to take your weight every day. I'm just saying don't put your heart into it, because it is about the long-term growth. And if you kind of forget about the scale, if you forget about your hair growing, I'm not saying forget about it, but obviously you're not going to forget about it. You're going to see it in the mirror every day. But it is a lot easier and feels a lot faster whenever you're not fixated on that daily result. When your focus is on something else, a little bit more long-term, a little bit more sustainable, like building muscle, like increasing performance, getting a better squat, being stronger so that you can pick up your grandkids or your kids or whatever stage of life that you're in. Think about those things that are going to help you live a higher quality life and not just the scale. So the second thing that I think really led to a lot of my results was that I swapped out cardio burnout for like daily movement wins. And I'll explain what that means. I remember at one point I was forcing myself to do hour-long cardio sessions. And I say forcing myself intentionally. Like that is how it feels. And you might have been there before too, where you're like, yeah, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm kind of forcing this. I was thinking more equaled better, and it does. Like you are going to burn more calories if you're able to do more. It's just, as I was kind of saying in the intro, the trade-off for that, I was exhausted, I was cranky, I wasn't capable of resisting temptations as much because, kind of feel like you've earned it or whatever. There's that mixed emotions. You're tired. You need more sleep, and if you don't get that sleep, then you're more susceptible to making those bad decisions. So for me, swapping it out from what I'm about to tell you was huge. And I also forgot to mention, after a while, if I was being honest, I wasn't doing an hour of cardio anymore. And that's the thing, is an hour of cardio every day, you're going to get results. But honestly, are you going to do that forever? And so if you're being honest with yourself, if you can't keep it up, then it doesn't matter the short term. If you're eating like a bird and if you're doing a bunch of cardio, you're going to lose weight in that short term, but can you do that forever? And that's where, typically we gain the weight back. So for me, I swapped that out for steps, and not just steps, but steps throughout the day. So I always tried to get a walk every day. So I guess I was still getting cardio. It just wasn't like on an incline treadmill. My favorite thing, which still is my favorite thing if I do cardio, is an incline treadmill or the Stairmaster, going uphill, carrying my body weight, not pulling on the handrails. Cycling's, I like other things too. This is a Rogue Echo bike that I'm sitting on right now. I like this thing as well. But those, are my favorite forms of cardio. But every day I would try to get a walk, something in the subdivision with my wife or, daughter. And then the steps throughout the day. So in between sets, I would pace, which I know sounds silly, but it really adds up. In between exercises, so if I do 3 sets, and I do more at home workouts now, and that's kind of like my thing now. That's what I'm gonna be teaching you more about on this channel, is working out at home and body control and trying. But anyways, at the gym, if I did 3 sets on something, after I would walk a lap around. There was like a little track around the gym, and whether you just pace around the gym or whatever, take a lap around the actual gym. Those steps really added up, parking in the back of the parking lot. And I know, again, this sounds cliche and you've heard this before, but for me, it was just so impactful to, I guess, always be thinking about my health instead of just at the gym be thinking about progress. I was always kind of progressing instead of just doing my cardio. And that's where I was progressing all day. The next thing that I think was really huge for me was I stopped eating clean and I started eating protein, which is super lame. When I wrote that joke, I thought, I'm not actually going to say that, and here I am. It's still in there, so I don't know. Anyways, so seriously though, I stopped focusing on eating clean. If you look at my recipe book, and it's in the description, pinned comment, totally free. I'm telling you, they're delicious recipes. They're so good. It's pasta, it's cheese. Get it. It's going to help you lose weight, okay? It's big meals, hard to eat all of that, and that's the point, is you're going to lose fat. But high protein, all those things. You'll notice that, you might say, well, this doesn't look super healthy. There's not a whole lot of vegetables, not a whole lot of fruit. I get fruit, and I get like sides of veggies throughout my day, but I'm not like super focused on that. I'm not super focused on having, vegetables and fruit with my lean protein and whole grains. Now I try to get whole grains and everything, but I'm not trying to make this perfectly balanced meal. And man, it was so much better on my mental health if I know, okay, I'm getting enough protein, carbs, and fats. I'm staying below this calorie threshold and I'm good. I don't know. Maybe I will regret that one day, but for now, I'm really happy with the decision that I made to just focus on my health from a standpoint of body fat and muscle. Now, I take a multivitamin. I don't know if that covers me, but it feels like it does, and so that's what I do. Okay, so for this last one, if you're still here, let me know in the comments because I'm proud of you because this is the tip. I do this a lot in my videos. I don't know, maybe it's not a good practice, but my last tip, or one of my later tips, is the thing that like I most believe in, that I think is going to help a person, because I want to reward you for being here. And so anyways, my plateaus. You're going to plateau. Plan on it. That's not the tip. If you treat those plateaus as an opportunity, I know this sounds cliche, but as an opportunity to grow, as an opportunity to learn to be that new weight. Let me give you an example. Cameron Diaz took like a 10-year hiatus from Hollywood. She said that she just couldn't take it anymore. Was it Cameron Diaz? Let me look. I have it in my notes. Yeah. I'm not much into celebrities, but I looked into this, and she took a 10-year hiatus from Hollywood. She came back recently saying that she feels more fresh and better than ever. And that's kind of how your plateaus, think of them not as plateaus, think of them as vacations from the grind. Because it is a grind. It's hard. And if you think of it as like, okay, I'm gonna be okay being this weight for an entire month. What is 1 month? Take a month, practice being that weight, practice eating a little bit more and working out for performance and muscle building instead of losing weight, instead of focusing on the scale. Now, still be taking your weight, make sure that you're maintaining weight. But I'm telling you, if you get good at being here, you are in so much control. You can go down whenever you want. And if every time that you hit a plateau, you practice being good here, you are now back in control. And it is kind of like a reverse dieting thing where you slowly increase your calories. You'll find out that, with more muscle and more performance and better fitness, you can eat more calories. It doesn't mean you're going to start losing due to eating more. That's a bunch of hoopla. But you will get the skills needed to at any point start losing again. And if I say this a lot in my videos, if you go down and maintain and down and maintain and down, you're going to reach your goal in no time. Who cares about maintenance? It's going backwards that we don't want to see. And if you go a little bit backwards, like if during your maintenance, you add, 2 to 4 pounds, 5 pounds of weight, that's probably water weight. It's not fat. So don't worry about that. So whenever you start getting like 6, 7, 8, 9, that's whenever it's like, okay, maybe I need to dial back the calories a little bit, and maintain at that new thing. If you lose 30 pounds and then gain 4 and then maintain that and then lose 30 and gain 4 and keep doing that, you're going to be at your goal in no time. And I think that's so encouraging. At least that was very encouraging for me, was to practice being okay at these plateaus, because those plateaus always destroyed me. I think the coolest thing was like the mental break from just needing to perform, just needing to always succeed. That was the biggest thing for me. And then and here's a great tip for you, I really pressed into, okay, if I'm going to maintain here and I'm not going to progress in the scale, I'm going to progress in something. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to really work and amp up my workout so that I feel like I'm moving forward in some other direction. And I tell this a lot to my clients, you're never wasting your time. If you're just flat, you're getting, and you're still doing your cardio and you're still lifting your weights, you're going to be gaining muscle in the background. Then whenever you start your diet again, you're going to have more muscle, be burning more calories. Your basal metabolic rate is going to be even higher. It's going to be so much easier for you to lose weight. Same thing with your cardio. If you're doing your cardio and you're maintaining weight, or you're taking your steps or whatever, your fitness is going to be getting better. You're going to be getting better at walking longer. And therefore, it's going to be easier for you to lose weight, especially if a person's doing cardio and trying to get faster. Let's say they're trying to get a higher percent incline on the treadmill. They will, be improving their cardio ability. And now a 3% becomes easy. So now they're going to be able to do a 4% incline on the treadmill. And then whenever that gets easy, a 5%. Let's say that whole time they're maintaining, well, now they're walking at 5%. So now they're burning more calories. And it's just a cycle of awesomeness. And you got this. You're going to succeed. So I hope this story helped you.